All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of The Lethal Library. I am Stephanie.
I'm Dani.
And we are a true crime podcast. We talk about cases mostly in the Pacific Northwest. And today, Dani's going to be telling us a story of yet another dumb criminal. What do we got on the plate, Dani?
I didn't even write an intro for this. I didn't know where to start. So let's just get straight into it.
Let's jump in.
On August 3rd, 1983, in Shoshone, Idaho, Jamie Charboneau was shot by Marilyn Arbaugh after an alleged sexual attack on Marilyn's youngest daughter, age 13. Yikes. Marilyn unloaded her .22 caliber gun into the side of Charboneau's truck while he was in it. Bullets hit him in the right elbow and leg. She was charged with aggravated assault in August of '83. But earlier that year, in January, Marilyn and her father, James, had went to the Jerome County prosecutor, Dan Adamson, in an effort to put Charboneau in jail. Marilyn had bruises from a reported fight with Charboneau, but because Marilyn admitted to hitting Charboneau in the head with a frying pan, Adamson said the couple had engaged in a mutual combat and that he was unable to press charges.
To hit someone in the head with a frying pan. If that's how it starts, that's one thing. But if that's what you do to try to stop it, that means it was pretty intense. I've almost hit someone in the head with a frying pan once.
No shit.
I'll tell you the story later. But yeah, like literally, you know how I'm really good at flipping a frying pan in my hand from working at like fast food restaurants or like restaurants. So I was like, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. It
I'm
was
doing
for
this
someone
shit.
attacking someone else.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm attacking you.
so that's why. But so if a frying pan's involved and it's not the initial contact, someone's probably acting up.
But she also, well, he was in his truck, I'm assuming trying to leave.
Yeah, you can't shoot people when they're
Just unloaded her gun. Pop, 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 pop,
A
pop.
lot of people don't know that. They're like, even if someone was stabbing you, if they are running out of your house, leaving, got to be careful with your gun laws in your state. They're different everywhere. Take a concealed carry class. They'll let you know what's under the law and what isn't. You can't just shoot someone because they're on your property. In most states, anyway.
Charges against Marilyn were later dropped right before her trial because of an incident in Jerome County where Charboneau attacked Marilyn. Lincoln County prosecutor Doug Rose stated he had instructed Charboneau to stay away from Marilyn and avoid any contact. But Charboneau compromised the case by contacting her. And I don't know the level of the I don't know, attacked. There was no details, but there was some interaction there.
He was where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the lady that shot you up? Yeah, don't fucking talk to her. Do not be around her.
Don't go to her place of work. Don't. You see her in the grocery store?
Turn the other way. Something happened. So, anyways,
Drama all over the town.
we're just getting started. So, I don't know. Marilyn was off the hook for unloading a gun into the side.
They said, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
On June 13th, 1984, Marilyn, age 36, and Charboneau, 24, had their divorce finalized. They had only been married for a year before they separated.
Ooh, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. They met in July of 1982 and had a very stormy relationship. So, I mean, we're 2 years into this relationship. Divorce is already filed, back and forth, fighting.
Whirlwind of drama. I think we've all seen that kind of relationship before, whether it's your own or your friends or your families. I think we're getting the vibes.
I just think if you're shooting at your partner,
Red flag, at least one.
where's the red flag guy?
Yes, we need the gigantic red flag. Like this has gone too far. I don't know how you reclaim a relationship after things like this.
No.
And this is happening after like a year.
Yeah.
How do you get back? I don't care who the therapist is. You're not therapying
It's not.
yourself out of this.
It's not fixing.
No.
They were in a constant state in those 2 years of breaking up and getting back together, and apparently shooting each other or shooting Yeah.
Shooting, frying pans.
all of that shit.
Sick.
A warrant was issued for Charboneau in late June 1984. He was charged with first-degree kidnapping and rape. Marilyn told police that on June 21st, Charboneau kidnapped her as she left work. As Marilyn was leaving her waitressing job at the Butte Cafe, he entered her car and refused to leave. Do you think this was the only restaurant in Butte?
Is it the only restaurant in Butte?
I kind of feel like it was.
There's maybe two. Small town.
Charboneau then choked her until she became unconscious. When she woke up, she was in Lincoln County, where he raped her. Marilyn was able to finally escape. While her car was stopped at a stop sign, she escaped from the vehicle. Marilyn's car was later found high-centered on a rough road and completely burned in Owyhee County.
Completely burned.
Mm-hmm. And also, I did read reports where the VIN had been removed. This is so funny. So, I'm sorry, it's funny. So the VIN had been removed in the obvious places where you see it,
Yeah.
back in the day on the door and in the dash, whatever. But one newspaper reported, but they found the VIN in a hidden place that's only known to police.
Oh, super secret policeman. Well, I mean, now most of these cars have like the computers in them that can tell them exactly how fast you were going. Did you brake? But yeah, no, that's a great idea. Even for just stolen cars to
Yeah,
have a
but
secret VIN. And why
there-
wouldn't they? How much does that cost?
But there was a secret VIN hidden.
Secret VIN.
Later, her backpack was found in Battle Mountain, Nevada.
Damn.
Well, you're going to see what's going on. And let me just tell you about Charboneau.
Tell me about Charboneau.
He was a rodeo man.
Ooh. So the Montana and everything's coming into play here.
And Owyhee County and all that stuff. He even pictures of him. He is dressed in like those cowboy shirts that have like they're buttoned and then they have that extra flap.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's over. Like, and the little bow tie thing.
Bolero, like the string.
Not the string, the actual scarf.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I know
Are
what
you
you're
feeling the
talking about.
vibes?
I feel the vibes.
Okay.
And listen, rodeos around this part of the country, not only this part, but there's many states where rodeo is a huge thing. And these boys are like rock stars, even if they're not making it big or winning all the time.
And he's 24. And she's 36.
Yeah, what are we doing?
I don't even think I could relate.
I thought it was the other way. I didn't realize that. I wrote down the ages, but not with the names. So thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. And also, you're going to hear about Marilyn's daughter, who was 17. Awkward.
Not.
No. And yeah, it's just,
The fuckery is real.
yeah, Marilyn was beautiful.
Still, for
That-
me,
Finding that commonality, like, yes, thank you. Is that a word?
yeah. Look at the vocabulary on this one.
I do read.
Have you been in your thesaurus?
Ah. On July 1st, Charboneau went to Marilyn's home in Jerome, Idaho, and let her horses out of the corral. Marilyn saw they were out and went out to gather the horses back into the corral.
Mm-hmm.
At 11:38 a.m., Marilyn's two daughters called the Jerome Sheriff's Office and said they heard shots fired. Tiffany Arbaugh, Marilyn's daughter, picked up her mother's rifle and went to the barn. Marilyn was sitting on the ground and Charboneau was standing over her. Charboneau turned and pointed the gun at Tiffany and told her to leave. Marilyn also told her daughter to leave. She did. She's like, go.
Both of them were saying to leave. But very gutsy grabbing that rifle, girl. I'm very proud of her being
Oh,
like,
she wasn't.
listen up.
She wasn't fucking around.
Let's
I
see
love
what's
that.
going on out here. But then both of them telling you to leave, like, ugh, for a kid.
Charboneau told Tiffany he was going to take her mother to the hospital. Tiffany went back into the house where she heard more shots.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I can't even imagine how scared I would be.
Today, as an adult.
Yeah.
As a teenager.
Tiffany then grabbed her mother's car keys so Charboneau couldn't leave. Smart girl. She ran back to the barn to find Marilyn lying on the ground. And Charboneau was gone. The daughters called the sheriff again, saying their mother was dying and that Charboneau had fled into a field near the barn. Marilyn had been shot 15 times.
You got to be shitting me. That's out of fucking control. Especially knowing that someone else knows that what you're doing out here. Like, I'm so happy that he didn't go for those girls, because
Isn't it
at that point you think your brain would be like, well, she already knows that we're out here and I've got a gun. She heard the shots. I got to go take care of business. So I'm just so glad that I think he knew that she was going to shoot him.
I think so too. Charboneau was arrested a short time later in the field behind Marilyn's home. Just to kind of give you an idea of what Jerome is desert.
And like some farmland.
A lot of farmland, but also a lot of sagebrush.
Mm-hmm.
So when they say a field, I just imagine just sagebrush and dirt.
Yeah.
Out there. I mean, it could have been a farmer's field. Actually, now that I say that, I do believe it was a wheat field now that I'm remembering my research, because they were looking for items out there and it was very difficult. So yes, it was a wheat field, but still there's lots of sagebrush in Jerome. It's Nevada desert.
Yeah. High desert.
You think of The Hangover where they meet in the desert?
Yeah.
That's southern Idaho.
And a lot of people don't realize what high desert is, because they're like, Idaho, you get so much snow. How could it be a desert? With the amount of actual precipitation you get, it's a different desert than like sand dunes, even though Idaho does have sand dunes. Surprise, surprise.
The largest sand dune in North America.
Listen, Idaho has everything. So,
and then some, boom.
But yeah, high desert climate. And so it affects like what plants you can have here. A lot of people come here and are just so surprised how dry it is, and all their house plants die or they buy like whole house humidifiers because they just like it better, or they have lots of plants. So it's a very interesting and diverse climate that Idaho has. So high desert, look it up.
Charboneau, 24, was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, and grand theft in Jerome County. He was also charged with rape in Lincoln County. And Jerome and Lincoln are like,
They're besties.
yeah, they're besties. They're bestie counties. They're right next to each other. Defense attorney Golden Bennett asked Jerome County officials to move Charboneau from the Jerome County Jail to another location for his safety. Someone had apparently banged on an outside jail window and shouted, "You're dead meat," in the area where Charboneau was confined.
Which was it too, though? How did they know? If he didn't, there's other inmates in there.
They didn't say, "Mr. Jamie Charboneau, you're dead meat." They just said, "You're dead meat." But also,
And this, somebody was really saying that in a threatening tone. Was that lingo so popular that you would say, "You're dead meat"?
83,
You're dead meat. And it's a serious threat. Now that's like something I would,
it was probably some 15-year-old kid that was dared to do it.
right? Go tell those.
And how do you touch jail windows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just walk up to the Ada County, Canyon County Jail and just bang on some windows.
Knock, knock. Hey, how y'all doing?
You're dead meat.
You're dead meat. I'm gonna start using. We're bringing it back.
We're bringing
next time
dead meat
someone-
back.
Well, I guess I can't recommend this for everyone because your HR might not look too kindly. But maybe the next time Rick pisses me off, I'm gonna say, "You're dead meat."
We recorded.
Uh-oh, pal. Listen, pal. You're skating on thin ice. You're dead meat. So now he needs a transfer because of that. Wow. Very sensitive.
I do have to tell you. No, I'll tell you later. Okay. In August, Charboneau pleads not guilty to all the charges.
Oh,
Not me. Not
I
me.
was nowhere near there.
This was bizarro to me. Do you like my made up word there? Bizarro.
I think that's
A
probably
fish.
in the dictionary.
2 trial dates are set. October 1st is for the murder trial, and December 3rd for the kidnapping and grand theft charge.
Are we putting the horses before the cart or the carriage or whatever the saying is?
Why?
Because if you get, I mean, test your theories on the kidnapping, and if you lose, that sucks. Oh well, now you know what the defense is going to do. Strategery, folks. What is happening here?
The trial dates are set by the case number. The murder charge paperwork was returned to the judge before the other charges. Therefore, it will be tried first.
I feel like as a lawyer, you've got to find a way to slow down one over the other then and be like, "Oh, we're waiting on our such and such. Can't do that."
It really wasn't and listen, it was the prosecutors. They're the one that files the charges. So maybe it was some strategery. There's another made up word. Mr. Golden Bennett is not happy with that, and he wants to move the trial dates. Plus,
Slay Queen.
he has a vacation planned.
Super Slay Queen.
Golden said no one consulted him about his calendar when the dates were set. Judge said, "Not my job. I'm here to make sure we have a fair trial, not to consult others' calendars."
Especially for a vacation. I mean, let's think of a better excuse.
But Golden wanted to go.
I'm supposed to be in Cancun.
No, he's probably going like, oh, let me picture what his he probably was going to Reno. Like,
He's going that far, or is he going to jackpot?
no, I feel
They
like
could get there easier, yeah.
not even
The
that.
big
I
city
feel
of
like
Reno.
jackpot would be beneath him. Vegas, he would be
Too far.
above him. So I feel like he's a Reno kind of
guy. Hey, I can respect it.
I think he's a Reno kind of an attorney because he is literally working out of Jerome.
Listen, they had a suite on the corner in Reno at the Motel 6. A suite. But judge didn't care, so
Judge said, "You're burnt. Cancel your family vacay to Reno." Golden probably had all of his kids loaded up. They're going to take him to the circus.
Drop them at Circus. We're good.
This is all made up. But
17.
they're like fucking, they're like 8 and 10. They give them like $40 and be like,
Yeah.
Mom and Dad will be back in like 3 hours. Don't talk to strangers.
6 business weeks. We'll be back.
Oh. Okay. Golden files a motion to exhume Marilyn's body.
Oh, Lord.
He is claiming that Marilyn's daughter, Tiffany, age 17, shot her.
Ooh, that is dirty.
Do you see why I said Reno?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I understand the thinking behind it, but that is, I mean, I know this is in 80s, but surely they know the difference between a rifle and what was he using?
A pistol.
Oh, they gotta.
Okay.
Please.
No, Steph.
Oh my God.
Wait. Golden might have been on to a reasonable.
Reason for this. Okay. Oh gosh.
It's
Now
gonna
I'm-
come
now
up.
I'm terrified.
No, it's. Charboneau is claiming he saw Tiffany shoot her mother. And I want to apologize, Tiffany, if I'm saying your name wrong, because it's not Tiffany, it's Tiffany. So I'm trying to really say it correctly. Okay. Golden wants a detailed autopsy, saying the pathologist failed to make a complete autopsy and testified during the preliminary hearing that he had left some bullets in Marilyn's body. Golden wants those bullets to be retrieved and tested.
I mean, if it's true, that's a valid concern. I feel like that should never be left because that's evidence.
Same. But listen to this.
Lord.
Deputy Sheriff Larry Webb said exhuming the body is unnecessary. He personally was there for the autopsy, and the bullets that were left in Marilyn's body were too fragmented to be useful in any tests. This is 83.
Yeah.
In another motion, the defense is asking for a jury to come from northern Idaho because Marilyn, born, raised there, lots of family, lots of friends, and this newspaper.
They were spilling tea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all about it. Also, Mr. Goldie is talking shit.
All right, Goldie, what you got?
He said he's surprised that the Jerome County prosecutor, Dan Adamson, has not removed himself from the case. Adamson's brother, John, was formerly married to Marilyn.
A former sister-in-law?
Yeah.
He has a valid point, but I listen. I gotta say, I like the delivery. Oh, I'm surprised. It's so like 14-year-old teenage girl, like, oh, listen, sweetheart, that's so weird.
Adamson basically said, eat shit, Golden. I will prosecute my former sister-in-law's suspected killer.
And what?
Suck it.
Appeals be damned, motherfucker. We do what we want. Very Idaho.
You're
Idaho.
not the boss of me.
You are.
No, and I'm in my research. Allison was like, I have no ill will against my former sister-in-law. Like, why would I even have? But also, on the flip side, now that I'm thinking about that, own argument in my head, if Adamson might be a little shady because of the alleged abuse against,
Obviously, seeing her beat the heck out of
yeah. So there's kids
Gosh,
involved, and I don't know the relationship with the kids. They weren't his nieces, but
it was volatile no matter how you want to look at it. Even, if we're getting to the point of shooting and bruises that make someone drop your case about a shooting and a frying pan. This is out of control. No level's good, but this is far beyond.
He was the one, though.
Oh, who was?
Adamson was the one. I'm going to go look. Adamson was the one when Marilyn and her dad, I believe he was the one that was like, I can't help you. He was. So,
What a tangled web.
Golden, did you not look at that? Like Adams, he sounds like he's being pretty fair.
Yeah, she probably would have had a valid case, and he said, it's not that valid. You don't have enough.
Right. He wasn't and that's probably why they went to him instead of the popo.
Oh,
Like-
because they want advice. They know
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
that can give them advice.
The request for exhumation is denied. The district judge wants more evidence before he'll allow it. The pathologist said the bullets that were left in Marilyn's body were in her lower extremities and that it did not cause her death. She died from a bullet that severed a main artery near her aorta and from collapse of the lungs.
Well, I mean, she was shot 15 times. Goodness.
And the judge also said, "You're out of luck, Goldie boy. We're not combining the trials nor setting new trial dates." Don't know why.
SOL. I think the judge is just is my house, not your house. I don't care. I don't care. You're going to Reno, bud.
You're picking up on some good vibes.
Okay.
A motion to dismiss a first-degree murder and the related charges against Charboneau are filed by Golden Bennett. In the motion, he declares charges against Charboneau should be dismissed because of gross mishandling of the case by the Jerome County prosecutor and sheriff's offices. Golden said he had a verbal agreement with Prosecutor Adamson, but he ignored the agreement.
A verbal agreement?
I don't know what the verbal agreement was.
Can you not charge him with the murder? Maybe just the kidnapping? They had a drunken handshake at karaoke night or what?
Probably at the Butte
We
Cafe.
talked about this.
Golden also said several pieces of evidence that would prove Charboneau did not kill Marilyn had been purposely suppressed.
What are these, you say?
Adamson said the motion is frivolous and typical of Goldie's actions throughout the proceedings in the case. Golden says Charboneau admitted to wounding Marilyn, but he did not kill her.
Or did you just not see her die?
He also wants the grand larceny and kidnapping charges dropped. The charges are unfounded, and there is evidence that proves the incidents did not occur. Don't know if said evidence, but, Goldie says. Golden also says the Jerome Sheriff's Office was aware that there were 2 guns at the murder scene, but the Sheriff's Office was only interested in one of them. He said it is now known that there were 3 guns at the murder scene.
Guns on guns on guns.
During the motion for dismissal, Charboneau testifies that Marilyn's daughter fired the fatal shot that killed her. During the 10 days after the alleged rape and kidnapping, he hitchhiked through Nevada and into Jordan Valley and then back to his grandfather's ranch in Owyhee County in search of work shoeing horses for ranches. So this next little bit, that and this next little bit is actually his testimony. So this is all allegedly.
From the horse's mouth, though.
Unable to find work, he returned to Jerome and stayed in the barn of Marilyn's home several days before the Sunday when she was murdered. Charboneau stated that he and Marilyn made love, looked at the .22 caliber rifle he had purchased for her daughter, Tira. I hope I'm saying that right, Tira. and got along well. Although Charboneau said he wasn't hiding, Marilyn did not want her daughters to know that he was there. I could, with all the drama,
Especially, you know,
I'll
if the
give 'em a-
daughters are old enough to be like, what is literally happening? If that's the case, I could see it.
And Tira was 14 and Tiffany 17. They're fully aware of what's going on.
yeah.
And I could see that being legit. Like,
What is
Out of
why
all
in the
this-
hell is he here?
yeah, like what are we doing? So I could see that.
Mm.
He said, but then there's bullshittery. So here we go. I mean,
Here we go.
this is his testimony, but he slept on the floor and went without food from Thursday until Saturday evening until Marilyn brought him lunch. He was hangry.
If he was there willingly, I can't see how that would happen.
That's
They
what-
have horses. Oh, I forgot to go do this with the horse. It would have
Right.
been an easy excuse. The only thing that the kids would have recognized is I'm sure they were helping with these horses with bedding and feeding and whatever. They may have noticed that they didn't have as many chores, but there's always a reason to go out there. You can make up a reason.
So, out of the unbelievable story, I do believe that if he was there, Marilyn was like, hey, but I don't know. I think it would be
get that.
reasonable
Yeah, it's
for her to be like, the girls can't know you're here because I'm not ready to deal with that because I shot you and also you just kidnapped and raped me. So you can't be here.
yeah.
So on Sunday, Marilyn came to the barn and told him she would finally tell the girls he was there. She then took the rifle to the house to show Tira because he had bought that gun for Tira, the rifle, which would not be out of line considering the time and where they lived. Nope. Teenagers are having guns.
Yeah.
Totally normal. She later returned with the gun and they were going to sight it in. So she came back to the barn with a gun and they were going to sight it in. Marilyn then loaded a handful of bullets into the gun. And that's when Charboneau asked her where she had spent the previous night, since her vehicle had not been home.
It's an interesting story. I feel like most women are smarter than this if someone's staying on your property, but
I also kind of feel like Marilyn didn't give a shit. I do feel that. It's like, I'm not hiding shit from you. She was to that point. I mean, we've known people. I've been that person. Like, hey, I don't give a fuck.
yeah, I'm helping you out by letting you sleep in the barn.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Very interesting web of craziness happening here.
But that question provoked her. She got pissed. Like, why are you even asked? And fair,
Who's staying in whose barn?
yeah, like, we're divorced. I'm letting you stay here, hiding from the police. I mean, this is all assuming that his story is correct, right?
Logically, like all of these factors would come into play.
Yeah, like,
You
it doesn't
couldn't-
fucking
you
matter where
couldn't-
I'm
I mean,
at.
At your dad's when you were trying to shoe horses. You're here. I've given you what I can give, which is sleeping in the barn.
so she was pissed. It provoked her, and she grabbed the gun.
Oh.
Allegedly, all of this is his testimony. Marilyn told him not to start that again. I can see that. Like, quit asking me what the fuck I'm doing, dude. Like, we're done.
Possible. Sure.
And then Charboneau told her that her parents thought she was crazy. Her daughters thought she was playing around with her boyfriends. And that he thought she was sleeping with everyone else.
Then why are you here? For
Exact-
table scraps.
Right? Charboneau said she told him that she couldn't live with him, but couldn't live without him, and warned no other woman was going to get him.
I don't know if I trust the quoting parts because,
Yeah.
whatever. It was clearly a toxic relationship, though, where people were trying to make, not even trying to put like a square peg into a round hole. Worse than that, trying to flush a cat down the toilet. It is not going to work, and you're going to get cut and bit in the process. This isn't love. This isn't romance. This like whirlwind and up and down, and some people get addicted to that. And this sounds like that. Oh, we're just so crazy together. We're so crazy. No, y'all are fucking weird. And it's weird for everyone around you. I know that you guys can relate. You either were that person or you've been around that person. It's fucking weird. Like, nobody likes this.
What is happening?
You're making it strange for everyone. Just go your separate ways and stop being.
Quit talking.
Whatever
know
you're
what?
doing.
They don't even have like cell phones, so it's not like they were like drunk texting or fucking. No, they literally had to like meet up anyway.
And be very toxic. Stop this nonsense. Immediate.
Charboneau said that is when he pointed the loaded rifle at him and said, "You're dead."
Dead meat. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
He heard a click and then wrestled the gun away from her. He said he was scared. He closed his eyes and began shooting the rifle. Yeah. He fired 3 or 4 shots, and when he opened his eyes, Marilyn was on her knees on the floor, clutching her shoulder. Then he saw Tiffany coming to the barn with a gun. He went over to Marilyn and saw she had been shot and told Tiffany to call the ambulance. Both Charboneau and Marilyn told Tiffany to leave the barn. He said he was afraid Tiffany was going to shoot him. Fair.
She was ready.
So he ran from the barn. He could hear talking while he was outside the barn, and when he peeked back in, he claimed he saw Tiffany standing over her mother, aiming the gun with both hands at her. He said he heard a shot and saw Marilyn's hair fly up. He closed his eyes again. He can only recall hearing one shot.
Of course, it's all plausible, but a lot of this I gotta call bullshit because it's just so novella. It's so soap opera.
Right.
Of like, no.
Thank you. When cross-examined, he could not explain the 15 bullet entries into Marilyn.
Oh, that's tough. How did those get there?
When asked about the kidnapping, he said Marilyn drove the car to Shoshone and she made the suggestion to make love.
She kidnapped herself. I wanted to go home because I have a home to live in by myself.
The barn.
And she was taking me away from my home.
She jumped from the car and flagged down another vehicle that took her to Gooding. Charboneau said he left her vehicle at the tavern in Jerome where she would surely find it.
That's a dig. I knew she'd be at the bar, so.
He then hitchhiked to Nevada because his truck wasn't running, probably because it was full of bull. Sorry. And of course, Judge Philip Becker denied the motion to dismiss.
He said, shut the actual fuck up. Anyway.
But he did vacate the December 3rd trial date to give both teams more time to prepare.
I think that's good because we do not need these speedy trials. Of course, within your constitutional rights. But we're not arresting on a Friday and prosecuting on the next Friday.
We've seen some fast trials. Charboneau's mother, Betsy McKill, wrote to the Times News in early November. They printed her letter in the editorial section.
Okay.
I'm going to read it to you.
Let's hear it.
Outside, I feel the seasons changing, a soft rustling of the leaves that quickly hastens the passing clouds with a promise of snow and a new winter that is sure to come.
Does she a meteorologist? Well, I'm sorry. I'm such a bitch.
It seems that summer past had suddenly gone, leaving only despair and lonely days in the lifetime of trauma that now faces a young man and the tragedy of the death of his wife, of a lost love, a lost marriage, and a divorce that was to end with a terrible chill.
She's going for that award that we've never heard of from that other case. I mean, it's very eloquent.
I have listened to the media and read of your outrageous statements concerning J.B. Charboneau. And with little or no thought or regard of his rights as a human being, never checking the facts, only listening to hear or read the bloody gossip, which is only meant to the media one more paper sold, one more wattage on air at the cost of a human soul. And we ask ourselves, what price, Glory? I'm preaching now. I do feel really bad for her because she believes in her son so much.
Of course
So-
she does, but she called him a young man, which he is a young man. This is not a toddler, though.
No.
This isn't a teenager.
Okay.
This isn't a 19-year-old.
Let me preach. Have we all lost the meaning of justice to the real meaning of innocent until proven guilty? Has the new media so turned to blood to raise the metabolism of the public? What has happened to the good old American heritage of innocent until proven guilty? I read lie after lie after lie, and that's what's asked by several people to have a retraction in your paper because they have been misquoted. A young man's life lies in half-truth and lies that have been written by the reporters at the Times News in Twin Falls. Yes, your words have left the media breathless and astonished at such a crime of July 1st, 1984, but has only taken one time to fill the eyes and ears of your readers with the sounds of truth and rightful justice of who's right and who's wrong.
That was the perfect one to do a fucking TikTok dance to.
She's not done.
You're fucking joking. Hold on, I gotta stretch because I was pulling out some of the big guns on the one.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. 1 year ago, August of 1983, Jamie was leaving Marilyn. He told her that he loved her but could no longer live with her because of her mental state, that he couldn't live with her always trying to kill herself. Marilyn told Charboneau that if he left her, she would kill him. He got up into his pickup to leave. Marilyn then unloaded her gun into the side of Jamie's truck, hitting him in the right elbow and once in the right leg. The bullet still remains in Jamie's elbow. The doctor at St. Alphonsus Hospital in Boise could not remove the bullet for fear Jamie would never use his arm again. Jamie and Marilyn tried again to work things out for their marriage. Marilyn again tried to kill herself. Jamie felt sorry for her and went to court for his wife's behalf after she was arrested for shooting him. Only her defense being that Jamie had molested her two daughters. Both daughters denied these accusations under oath in Mr. Rose's office in Shoshone. Jamie loved and treated Marilyn's daughters as though they were his own, having none of his own. Marilyn was released from the charges of shooting Jamie after she divorced Jamie. She still would not leave him alone. She called him, wrote to him, went to his jobs until he agreed to come back to her. Then she told him she didn't want him in the house, and she made him a bed in the barn at the house she rented. Marilyn again tried to kill Jamie. She already had a loaded gun in the barn. She aimed at Jamie's head and fired. It being a fully automatic gun, it had to fire once to bring the bullets into the chamber. Then the gun begins to fire automatically. Jamie and Marilyn then began to struggle over the gun. The gun went off, striking the lower extremities of Marilyn's body. Being on the ground in the barn, Marilyn then pulled Jamie to her, saying that she loved him and that she was sorry for everything. Jamie then left the barn and went into a nearby field to await the arrival of the police to give himself up and to avoid further trouble with Marilyn's dad. Marilyn's father hated Jamie for being with Marilyn. We have all lost a sense of human compassion as to better feed and take care of animals than a human life, even though a person may be incarcerated for a crime in jail that only allows 2 meals a day and a shower only when permitted, or to invade a person's right to privacy.
They are very against hangriness. Are they talking about like they had him in a barn, they weren't feeding him,
Yeah.
and they get 2 meals a day in jail? Like, sorry, you don't have a job. You don't have nothing.
No DoorDash for you,
You
fucker.
get a free roof over your head and some meals.
And sometimes people come and knock on your window and scare you.
Dead meat. Dead meat.
The authorities in jail stealing the inmate's mail, especially that of confidence between a lawyer and a client that happened to Jamie in the Jerome jail. Is this the American way of justice, independence, and innocent until proven guilty? Jamie got a piece of steel in his eye from the soap dish in jail.
Not the soap dish.
The soap dish. Sorry. His eye became swollen and infected before his lawyer could get the Jerome jail attendant to take Jamie to the doctor. Then the Jerome authorities would not let the eye be treated the way the doctor asked for. Thank you so much for your patience. I only hope and pray that justice will be done in my son's case, and that some reporter or somebody cares enough for the freedom rights in our country of America to see that justice is done, and that even though a human is jailed, they are still human.
Wow, Mama. That was, I mean, put her on this. Why isn't she the counsel? She thinks that's her job.
She's fucking right.
She's like,
ride or
I
die.
will give you every single detail of how it happened. Was I there? No. Was I anywhere around? No.
But Marilyn's a crazy bitch and my son's innocent. Ugh.
It's just.
And I'm very American, by the way. I am so American.
Yeah, we're American. Like, we live in America. And
I found it very interesting how it started out almost like poetry. Like she was writing
the wrestling of
Yeah.
the leaves.
and then she's like, my son got a sliver of metal in his eye from
a soap dish. What the fuck were you doing around the soap dish for that to happen?
I don't know about you, but my eye is never near a soap dish.
I've never gotten a sliver in my eye from anything, especially not a soap dish. How vigorously are we washing our faces, folks? What's happening here? The fuck? You don't headbutt the soap dish.
Stop
Was he assisted?
headbutting the soap dish.
Somebody assisted him in washing his face. Is that what we're trying to say? I feel like his mom would have said that.
Oh, good old Betsy. Yeah.
Betsy. But yeah, I appreciate it, Betsy. I know how a mom would feel, and I feel like we see a little bit of toxic mom here, where I wonder if this young man, as she says, was ever able to schedule an appointment on his own or get a power bill in his name without his mom calling to do it for him. That kind of thing, where it's like, I'm getting a little bit of those vibes.
And I kind of getting like, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm kind of getting like only child vibes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel that?
An only child son vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's like the triangulation of the relationship is very little off here. Anyway,
That made
we
me
can
very
only run on vibes, guys. This is not scientific. This is not journalism. This is just put your own spin on it. What do you all think?
In December, the rape charge in Lincoln County was officially dropped. The prosecutor, Doug Rose, is asking for the dismissal due to the lack of evidence. He said, quote, "It is not because I feel the crime was not committed, but rather because Marilyn Arbaugh, the only witness, it will be difficult to prove." And of course, with all this drama going on with the case, prosecutor Adamson also lost the election in November. The county has a new prosecutor, Mark Gauss. Adamson filed an affidavit for a special prosecutor to handle the case due to Gauss's inexperience. Special prosecutor House will take over. So, it's a fucking shit show down there.
But he's basically filing and being like,
yeah, like, well, this is the whole thing. So the case is supposed to start in the middle of January, but he is not the prosecutor anymore.
and he's been on it this whole time.
Right. And so now they have, and I went through the whole, I'm just telling,
Shit show.
there was people that had no business running for a prosecuting attorney. One guy that ran, I can't remember his name, but he went to law school and passed the bar, and then he went and got a job at I want to say it was like a chicken farm. It was something ridiculous like that. That's just what my brain was telling me. Like, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm an attorney. I could be prosecutor. I'm gonna run.
I'll put up some signs."
Anyway, yes, basically. It's a very small county.
Slim pickings.
Very small county. And odds are he had a good chance to win if he's a good old boy and had lots of family there. So, anyways, but this new guy that's coming in, Gauss, is just, he doesn't have any experience. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to reach out and find somebody that can handle this case. So, that's where we sit. We are in 1985. God, it's been a long 2 years.
Yeah, lots happened.
Mr. Goldie asked for a change of venue. He also files a motion for dismissal and an exhumation of Marilyn's body again, because he'd already asked for this. The change of venue is granted, and the trial will be moved to Ada County.
Let's go.
The judge did not decide on the other motion. The Northside News sues the Jerome sheriff over access to Charboneau. The paper is trying to interview him in jail, and they were turned away by the sheriff. Charboneau wants to talk to the press regarding jail conditions. Who was that motorcycle gang?
Yes, the motorcycle gang that was like, the sanitary conditions here are terrible. And then they got moved to another jail, and they're like, actually, all of those articles and interviews that I did, please take me back to the other jail, because here it's real bad. And
yeah. But Goldie's totally okay with it. He's like, talk to the press.
No media training. I mean, this is the 80s, so I get it. But, well, and we can see that with the mom's letter, too. I feel like she was encouraged to write that.
I do too.
They're trying to sway
And
everyone.
during my research, I read that first letter. Mom wrote multiple letters. Charboneau wrote letters. Goldie wrote letter. Like,
They're going on a whole
everybody wrote letters to the editor.
which is pretty unique for the time, I would say.
Shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Sheriff Hall says if he lets one reporter in, he'll have to let them all in. Good old boy. He's like, eh. Just 1 month before the murder trial, good old Goldie requested to withdraw as Charboneau's attorney.
Oh,
I'm done.
so anyway, I'm out.
Well, Charboneau had stated he had lost faith in his attorney for several weeks. I don't know if he stated this to other people in jail, in court.
Or if he took the advice to go to the press with it, which, what a mess.
But he had already just fully was like, yeah, I don't like, and you're going to see this is going to become a common theme. Golden said he couldn't do an adequate job knowing how Charboneau feels about him.
Okay.
So he's appointed a public defender, Randy Stoker. But Golden says he hasn't been fired by Charboneau's mother, who is paying him and wants to stay on the case. And he plans on staying on the case to assist Stoker.
Okay.
And the judge okays the plan to combine the trials, which makes sense.
Let's get her done.
And one big thing I saw through all my research was the cost of all of the shit to this tiny county.
They're like, can we condense this down a bit?
Yeah. People were pissed. They wrote, several times to the paper. People were just pissed. There were so many articles about the cost of this trial, the cost of this trial, the cost of this, the cost of that. Because it was a lot of money back in the day. It's still...
But it was a very tiny county in the 80s.
I think the county, it was like 18,000 people. Yeah. And they're footing the bill for this guy?
They're like, okay, can we just move it? No wonder these trials within a few months were happening. They're like, we better get it on the books or we're going to get attacked.
And a lot of the complaints were lit because, appeals are coming. They're literally draining their whole budget.
And their resources for other cases, too.
On this guy. They were over it. In April, the trial begins in Boise. A jury is finally seated consisting of 6 men and 6 women. It took nearly 4 days to interview 46 people before the jury was selected. Defense attorney Stoker is trying to get the statements made when Charboneau testified during a motion hearing the previous year to not be entered in as evidence. Do you remember that preliminary hearing?
Yeah.
That everything was... that
You had his testimony.
Yeah. Goldie was like, hey,
Don't
we want this
include it.
dismissed. Get up there and tell him your story.
Oh, yikes.
Stoker says Charboneau was ill-advised from his attorney.
That's still partnering.
I know, it's so weird. It's just so fucking weird.
Imagine having that said in court and you're sitting there also at the defense table like,
this
"Oopsie."
attorney sucked. He's still on our team, but
We
that was
trust
a
him
shitty
enough.
move. That was a bad move.
Oopsie. The drama.
Judge Becker said, nope.
Anyway,
He was like, I personally advised you of your right to remain silent, and you still fucking talked. Yeah.
there's only so much you can do. Like, we've all seen the ones that want to represent themselves, and the judges are like, in every single way. They're like, this will be worse for you. Your attorneys can give you times to talk or comment, but they know the rule of law and the procedures and what goes and doesn't go. And these people are like, I'll figure it out. I can do it.
Fuck my attorney. I'm way
Hubris.
smarter than my attorney.
Yeah.
I'm in jail for murdering somebody. Way smarter than my
I know
attorney.
what to do.
In opening statements, Prosecutor Hawes said Charboneau was hiding out in a potato cellar across the driveway from Marilyn's home. He had a Remington rifle and 2 boxes of ammunition that were purchased just 3 days earlier in Hagerman. Hawes said and this is just a friendly reminder, he was on the run for 10 fucking days for the kidnap and rape.
Yeah. He was across the street.
Yeah. So he had a warrant out for his arrest at this time, but he's like, I'm going to go buy a gun. And only in the 80s could that happen. Anyway. Hawes said on June 21st, Marilyn was eating a taco salad after her shift ended at the Butte when her ex-husband walked in. Around the same time, another patron walked in and offered to buy a round of drinks for everyone, which irked Charboneau.
I'm sorry, when has that ever been bad news?
Apparently it was. Charboneau wanted to know who was buying her a drink.
In addition to everyone. I mean, maybe there was only 3 people there. Who knows?
It's the Butte. Yeah, maybe. But she also works there.
People are going to want to buy her drinks regardless.
Right.
Because you have your little regulars that are, they have that parasocial relationship. They think you're besties.
When the two went outside, Charboneau abducted Marilyn. The next time she was seen was about 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 women from Lewiston were stopped at the intersection of Niagara Springs Road and Bob Barton Highway near Wendell. I want to look up who Bob Barton is.
You'll recognize the highway.
When Marilyn jumped from the hatchback of her Fiat station wagon. Marilyn cried out to the women, "Please help me. He's had me out all night and won't take me home." Marilyn claimed the red marks on her neck were from Charboneau trying to strangle her. Defense attorney Stoker said the marks on her neck was from a skin irritation, which she had been seeing a doctor for.
It was eczema.
A co-worker of Marilyn's, Chris Smart, testified that she had been invited to go to Gooding with her on Saturday, the night of the kidnapping. Marilyn later changed her mind and said she decided to go to Twin Falls instead because Charboneau had supposedly been spotted in the Gooding area and that she was afraid of him. Fair, sis.
Okay.
Chris also testified that Charboneau's standard line of introduction was, quote, "I don't know if you know it or not, but I am Marilyn's husband."
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. I
A
know.
little cringe.
It very fucking
Again,
cringe.
I know we say vibes, but intuition and just discernment and women, trust yourselves because you're just seeing a micro thing that usually is tied to a macro problem.
Oh my God, look at you. Boom. Gary Stoll, a cowboy from Elko, Nevada, said he spoke with Charboneau on June 26th. I'm going to say there's real cowboys in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charboneau claimed to be a rodeo clown from Arizona who was counting studs for the government. Gary gave Charboneau a ride from southern Hawaii County for approximately 25 miles north. Charboneau told him rattlesnakes scared away his horse and his pickup was out of fuel in the Sheep Creek area.
It's a lot of problems for one person.
It really is. But Charboneau was a cowboy.
Yeah.
He was a rodeo something. I don't rodeo clown.
Clown.
Yeah.
Affiliate. Sure.
Another man, Albert Baranaga, said Charbonneau introduced himself as Sam at a Simplot camp in Owyhee County. Sam claimed to be counting wild horses for the government and said he was from Montana. Charbonneau gave him the same story about the horse, but with no rattlesnakes. He said, my horse ran off.
Horse ran off, out of gas. It's a country song, for sure.
Both witnesses remember Charbonneau carrying a backpack similar to the one Marilyn used as a purse. That backpack was later found stuffed in a building on Marilyn's property.
Interesting.
And her car was, again, found in Owyhee County on a property that Charbonneau's grandfather used to own.
So known to the family.
All of Vin's, except for the secret Vin's. The girls testify.
Okay.
Tiffany testified she was upset and confused when giving her original statement to the detectives. In her tearful testimony, she said that she saw Charbonneau with a rifle standing over her bleeding mother. She said her mom came home around 10:30 a.m. that morning and went to move horses that were in the wrong corral. She was reading when she heard shots fired. She ran to the horse corral with her mother's .22 caliber gun. Tiffany saw her mom sitting in the alleyway, and Charbonneau was standing over her holding a gun. So there's been the first report says that she was in a barn, but apparently between the corrals and the barn, there was what they quote called the alleyway.
Okay.
So they both asked her to leave. Tiffany then ran to the shop across from the cellar and called the police station and told them Jamie had just shot my mom. And then she went back to the house, got her sister out of the bathtub, and changed from her pajamas to street clothes as her younger sister also got dressed. Both the girls ran and took cover behind a wagon near the corral. It's a real wagon. It's a sheep wagon.
Okay.
Tiffany accidentally fired one shot from the gun she had. They heard another series of shots and ran back into the alleyway. Tira brushed her dying mother's cheek and ran to call an ambulance at Tiffany's demand. Quote, 1 minute she was looking at me, the next she wasn't. I knew she was dead, so I closed her eyes. Charboneau was gone. On cross-examination, the issue of Tiffany being the one who shot her mother never came up. Because remember, that was...
They knew. It was a BS story.
Yeah, Goldie's like, yeah.
For what?
You just need to convince the jury that her daughter shot her.
And a man with a gun ran away instead of stopping it or overpowering the person. Sure.
Deputy Ernest Coates testified that former County Prosecutor Adamson told him to dispose of a .22 shell casing found near the sheep wagon. He quoted Adamson as saying the spent casing wouldn't be needed and it wasn't pertinent to the case and it could be discarded. Stoker asked Coates if the situation was a little embarrassing. And Coates was like, yeah, it is. Prosecutor Oz asked Coates if he normally took orders from the prosecuting attorney rather than the sheriff. Quote, usually I don't, but that day I did.
Good old boys.
I'm just saying.
Creating fuckery.
Mm-hmm. Coates put the casing in a film canister and threw it out after Charboneau's preliminary hearing. Shady.
Yeah, and you're just making this shit worse.
Adamson later testified that he told the deputy to dispose of the shell casing because he didn't think it was important because it wasn't found near the body.
You don't dispose, though. You can say, hey, this isn't relevant. They shoot guns all the time around here. This is probably from... There's a lot of other reasons, and they should be able to be proven. You don't say throw it away.
In a film canister, which don't even...
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Stoker made the point that Marilyn had 16 bullet wounds, but only 14 bullets were missing from the ammunition Charboneau had purchased. When the gun was retrieved, there were still 3 live rounds in it. Math is not mathing.
Relevant, but
Okay. Robert Ramsey, the pathologist that conducted Marilyn's autopsy, gave some explanation. He said his examination showed 16 bullets had entered her body, but only found 15 exit wounds. He said he may have missed one of the exit wounds, or 2 bullets might have left the body from the same hole. Or one of the bullets could have fragmented before it struck Marilyn, causing multiple entry wounds. Or a bullet could have ricocheted and entered her body twice. Or she may have coughed up a bullet lodged in her throat before she died. Or a 17th bullet that grazed her arm could have penetrated her body somewhere else, accounting for an extra entry. Or...
oh my God.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Or a bullet that went through her hand could be responsible for the extra entry.
Yeah, all great ideas, but it feels like there was some laziness or not thoroughness at the first one. Like, this is literally your job. And
Literally.
we should have dotted these I's and crossed these T's.
And so
much
I'm going to give a little
earlier.
props to Goldie for being like, hey,
Right.
let's exhume the body.
The
because,
doubt, sure.
but Goldie's still crazy. Judge Becker dismissed the charges of kidnapping and grand theft against Charboneau after the defense team presented a motion to dismiss. In the motion, Stoker stated Jerome County had no jurisdiction in the case because they couldn't prove that it happened in that county.
Sure. And again, there's pressures from all over of like, get her done. We don't need 17 cases. So now they're really relying on the murder charge, right?
Yep. Testimony is completed, and Judge Becker advises the jury they can consider 4 verdicts. I need to do research on this. I thought it was like this count or this count.
We talked about this on another
Yeah,
case.
I don't understand this. So he said,
Which I can kind of understand the first versus second. Like, did they plan it or did it come about in the moment? Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But doing like an involuntary manslaughter or like accidental vehicular manslaughter, like including all of that in not specifically this case.
it's like, let's just charge him with everything, which is basically what they did. These are the charges. Or they said that what they could
Applicable.
consider for the verdicts: first-degree murder, second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, or involuntary manslaughter. All of them. After 13 hours of deliberation, the jury found Charboneau guilty of first-degree murder. One juror stated the verdict would have been returned faster if the state didn't throw away evidence.
You're throwing a wrench in the gears that already move, in most cases, very slowly.
The death penalty is on the table. In December, a pre-sentencing hearing, the prosecutor Hawes asked for the death penalty, stating there is no mitigating circumstances in the murder of Marilyn. He said if Charboneau was ever paroled in the future, he would pose a threat to the lives of other members of Marilyn's family. We made it to 1986.
86, let's go.
On January 29th, 1986, Charboneau was sentenced to death for the murder of Marilyn Arbaugh. Here we go. Appeals, appeals, appeals. A post-conviction relief petition was filed by Jim May, Charboneau's new attorney. One issue raised on appeal was that Golden Bennett's representation of Charboneau. Golden allowed Charboneau to be sworn in and give testimony at the pretrial hearing.
Again, if a judge, they literally are like, are you on drugs? Are you drunk? Do you understand how this could benefit you or be like a detriment? Like, they go over all this. Like,
that's what Judge Becker said. Like, I personally advise you. Golden also allowed Charboneau to be interviewed for more than 2 hours by an investigator for the state without being present.
Whose fault is that?
Goldie's. And look, out of that frustration, it's
and
not
the client
for
too.
sympathy. It's just like, you're a fucking idiot. Golden and Prosecutor Stoker failed to seek financial assistance through the court for a private investigation into the ballistics and the mental capabilities of the defendant. The post-conviction relief was denied by Judge Becker. He said, it hasn't been explained why the defense counsel took certain actions, but the court cannot second-guess strategic and tactical choices made by a trial lawyer, and if the errors were made, they were of harmless nature.
But again, I don't see, because even if you pay a lawyer, you could be paying big bucks for a shitty lawyer. And whose fault is that? If they have passed the bar exam, they are allowed to practice law. Even if the lawyer is doing a completely shitty job on the stand and the judge is like, are you fucking dumb? Who knows? Is this all a farce because you have some big punchline coming, some gotcha moment? Who's to say?
And it's not the judge's responsibility to make sure that
No. Especially
they have a good attorney.
because some of this was a paid attorney, which should, in theory, be better than a public defender. So you're like, this is who you chose. They are licensed to practice, like having a license to drive. Maybe they like to take naps while they drive, though.
A death warrant for Charboneau was issued for December 10th. Of course, a stay is issued from the Idaho Supreme Court.
As it always is.
1987, a new attorney is appointed to Charboneau. And Charboneau is pissed.
Oh, gosh.
He wants May to continue to be his attorney. One problem. May's been appointed to be a judge.
Oopsie, got a promotion.
Charboneau said if he can't have May, he will represent himself.
Oh, great choice.
Greg Fuller is appointed to represent Charboneau by the court. Fuller asked for a new trial. He said the former attorney Golden Bennett, based his defense strategy on clairvoyance and other, quote, supernatural phenomena.
Again, whose fault is that? If you chose a lawyer that's like, let's consult the tarot cards.
Reno, baby. Oh. Including regular contact with the spirit of Marilyn. Golden stated he never believed in that, quote, clairvoyant crap, and that Fuller is grasping at straws. Maybe.
Fuller, if your client asks you to, and they're paying you so much an hour, and they're like, I heard
get out the Ouija.
I saw a psychic on Etsy that says that they can pull some rune stones or tarot cards and they can figure out a murder.
I really think in 84, I think they're looking at the Ouija.
The classified ads in the Ouija board. Want to solve a murder? It's in the classifieds. I will use my, what are those sticks that find water?
A witching stick?
They're like, oh, should I do this? Yes or no? Or pendulum. Did this happen? Yes or no? If your client is asking for that, for one, who are you to say no? Or if that is part of your strategy that you feel that works and someone's paying you and you are a licensed professional in your field, choices, people, choices.
Good choices.
Hmm.
Fuller submitted an affidavit from Prosecutor Adamson. It said that sometime, you remember Adamson,
I
the
do.
ex-brother-in-law? It said that sometime in July of 84, after the preliminary hearing, but prior to the trial, he was approached by Goldie and his investigator, James Coakley. Golden told him he knew Charboneau wasn't guilty because his niece in California had a seance with the deceased.
Okay, let's drop the charges.
In the seance, the deceased indicated that she forgave her daughter for firing the final shots.
Teenage girls with a Ouija board. I don't know if they're teenagers, but it sounds like it to me. It's a niece.
In another affidavit filed, Golden's former legal secretary, Diana McDonald, stated she witnessed several conversations between Goldie and Coakley concerning various supernatural and clairvoyant phenomena related to the guilt or innocence of Charboneau.
It's sounding like a theme here. I hate to say it. More than just my clients asking me to or gave me the
I don't think this
number.
is asked of. No. Mr. Coakley was in regular contact with the spirit of the victim and reported the results of these contacts to Goldie.
Okay.
Coakley couldn't be reached for comment. Why?
Why? Camping? Vacation?
No. Well, staycation. He is serving a sentence in the state penitentiary on a theft conviction for unlawfully using Goldie's credit cards.
All right.
What a shit show.
Very stable and appropriate. Yes.
Judge Becker denies the request for a retrial.
He said, I'm actually done with this shit. Move along.
I want you to keep that comment in mind.
Okay.
Charboneau fires Fuller. But Judge Becker warns him, quote, "You've already gone through several lawyers. Your rights have been more protected than the victim's. She didn't have any lawyers."
He's saying, let's look at the odds, bud.
Yeah.
If this is Vegas or Reno, you're betting on the wrong horse, bud.
Fuller was totally taken by surprise at the request. He's like, wait, what? I'm getting fired? He really was. A few days later, Fuller was reappointed.
Oh.
Fuller was working for $50 an hour, half of his normal rate. And mind you, this is in 83, right? 84.
Good money.
Judge Becker told Charboneau, "I didn't go out and find you a cheap attorney." The reappointment was not a request from Charboneau. The court was like, "You're an idiot. This is who you got." And
Fair enough.
1988, Charboneau appeals his death sentence, of course, to the Idaho Supreme Court for inadequate counsel. And guess what else? Class. Idaho's death penalty is unconstitutional because only a jury can impose the death penalty.
Not the judge.
Plus all the other things.
Yeah.
Letting Charboneau be interviewed without counsel present and letting him testify at a pretrial hearing. Plus, Stroker should have asked for a continuance for the trial based on the short time he had to prepare. He was like put in 3 weeks
Yeah.
before.
You need more time. So,
So many fucking attorneys. We're moving up a year.
89.
In April 1989, the Idaho Supreme Court ordered Charboneau to be resentenced due to several errors made by Judge Becker. During the sentencing hearing, Becker improperly admitted an unsubstantiated letter from Marilyn's father that included hearsay. Big word for multiple syllables.
I'm proud of you.
The court ignored the issue of jury versus judge handing down the death sentence. They're like, we're not going to even fucking deal with that.
There's bigger problems.
Yeah.
But okay, sure.
The court did say that Judge Becker seemed to rely on unsubstantiated claims that Marilyn would have survived if Charboneau did not shoot a second round of bullets. The court rejected 17 points presented in the motion. There was no impact statements allowed at this time in a death penalty case.
Ooh.
So Marilyn's dad presented testimony about how they were a shit show.
DV, I'm sure.
Right? But they're saying that was unsubstantiated. Nailed it. And that couldn't be presented.
I can see that because, I mean, it's third party.
But it's still a victim's impact statement. So
No, there's ways to get it in and ways to not. And so, of course, they're looking for any loophole, which is, this is how it is with a legal case. Everything has to be by the book. And if it isn't, it's going to cause a problem later. So you can't take the easy way out, even if you're like, we got to include this. Can we include it without it being a shit show later? That's a big question.
in 1990, apparently, for the attorney Charboneau did not want, Fuller is making progress.
Well, go Fuller. Let's see what you got.
Fuller files a petition for a new trial because a former sheriff's deputy, Carl Taylor, was convicted of a misdemeanor. Carl had taken a loan of $6,000 from a man that the sheriff's office was investigating. Carl had testified in Charboneau's trial, and Fuller says the jury should have not given any consideration to his testimony based on Carl's character. By the way, he committed that crime years after Charboneau's trial.
That's a stretch to me, Fuller.
And it had something to do, his testimony had to do with something with a confession. I didn't.
Yeah.
But still later.
They're pulling out every stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. He's trying.
Working for the money.
Fun fact. The Jerome County Jail does not have an exercise yard.
For shame.
Well, that's why you can knock on fucking windows, bro.
Yeah, go find the person who's saying dead meat.
Inmates are guaranteed 5 hours of exercise a week, so the sheriff improvises.
They get a Jane Fonda aerobics. What do they get?
Every few days, the sheriff drops in on Charboneau and tells him to put on his coat. The sheriff drives out to a remote area, and Charboneau, with handcuffs on, they
He
go
can
for a
run
walk
around
together.
and play. It's like taking someone to a dog park or to like a remote area. And I'm not trying to equate people and dogs here, but I'm saying like, oh, we got this dog that might bite. Let's take him out to where no one's going to be.
No, and they
Go run. Here, fetch.
pew. The unsuper dangerous people, I guess, or the other inmates, they would handcuff them all together and take them to the park.
Yeah, where you guys can't coordinate and escape handcuffed together.
No.
Crazy Red Rover game, that would be. You ain't getting through
And
that.
the sheriff
shit.
is like, let's go for a walk, bro. You ain't gonna fucking sue
They're
me.
literally like, time for walkies?
Hi. They don't have an exercise yard, but the sheriff didn't want to get sued, so he's like,
Take them on their run or whatever.
let's go out to the desert, boy.
Anyone got a frisbee?
And they would talk. Like, they would literally go on a walk together. And the sheriff said that he would talk to
I
him.
bet a lot of prisoners would prefer that. A walk in the, even in the high desert, like imagine like a really remote trail.
He was in flip-flops and ugh.
Or if it's snowing.
Can you imagine that, that fine fucking, that fine.
The dust,
fucking
the moon dust.
oh, king's on. Sheriff's like, I got on boots, fucker. How does that feel between your toes? You know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
that shit. And you're just like, oh my God, I need to wash my feet. Anyways, kudos to the sheriff
Doing his best, being
to not
creative.
to not get sued.
Out of the box solutions. Go, sheriff.
Can you imagine? I'd be so pissed off at the sheriff. I'm like, get up, have my coffee. I'm like,
Time for walkies, Dani.
oh, I have to go take walkies today. Fuck, this guy annoys me. I do not want to be out there with him. But also, do my job. Not going to get
Walking
sued.
in the desert.
Can you imagine? Just fucking. Just after the denial, Charboneau figures this is a great time to have an interview with the press.
Great strategy so far. Hasn't failed you yet.
In an interview with Anita Dennis from the Times News, Charboneau said the world would be safe if he was paroled.
The world.
The world.
Wow.
When asked if he was dangerous, he replied, "No, I'm not. I know I'm not."
Let's wrap it up, folks.
He stated, "If you look at the case, who knows what they would do if they were put in a predicament to defend themselves? No matter what one person might say looking from the outside in, might say, I would have done this, I would have done that, but you never know until you're in that predicament.
You never know, folks.
I do know now because I was inside there. I wasn't looking in from outside.
Yeah.
I was inside looking, and it was a tragic thing. I wish I would have had the mentality then that I do now, the ability to let logic control my emotions, and in the heat of that moment, then I would have been able to think it through and make proper judgment."
Honestly, I'm proud of him for the speech. I can tell that he's been waiting a while to say this, which, like we said, all the time in the world, you can put something together.
I feel like it was like like a statement.
Yes, it was.
His press secretary wrote that for him.
Yeah, for real. But it's like, there's just too much.
In June,
Tell me.
Judge Becker steps down from the case.
Okay, Becker.
Attorney Dunlap filed a motion for a new judge. Becker was like, thank God. No, for real. Thank God. He didn't say that, but.
He was done. He's like, I'm going on my own vacation now, you fuckers.
To Vegas, not Reno, you cheap bitch, Goldie.
We might go to Hawaii.
He granted the motion after being on the case for 6 years. Becker said, quote, "I'm so sick and tired of him."
Very candid. Not even like kid gloves type, like media
It's like,
messaging.
fuck
of,
this
like,
guy. If he could have said to the press, fuck this guy, I'm out, he would have said it.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool.
And fuck
I'm out.
you. Yeah. Oh. Becker was placed by Judge Hart. In September, the Idaho Supreme Court replaced Hart per request from Charboneau. The new judge is George Granada Jr.
Georgie Jr.
Here we go. In January 1991, Charboneau files a lawsuit against his own attorney for $1 million.
Give me $1 million, billion, cajillion dollars. Billions and billions and billions. Give me your money.
He claims Dunlap was not providing adequate representation. It was dismissed.
Thank you.
And everybody's getting smart. The state decided they will not ask for the death penalty in the resentencing of Charboneau.
Because you sucked at it this far. Let's just
Money, money, money.
let's lower our expectations.
No, it's all about the cash. I'm telling you.
It is.
The cash, the cash. They will instead seek life in prison. On October 10th, 1991, Charboneau is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In 1993, there's another appeal. The Idaho Supreme Court upholds his life sentence. And then we're just appeals. And in 2015, Charboneau was granted a new trial.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it. What do you got, Charby?
A letter was found written by Tira, Marilyn's daughter, from 1989 that states she was told to withhold information. And there was another letter from a former Jerome County sheriff that were discovered. District Judge LG said the letter showed evidence of misconduct.
And there was a sprinkling of it that we know about, so it's not.
Yeah, let's throw away a bullet casing.
Yeah, just throw it away. It's not even important.
The reason the letters weren't discovered until then is because the state had concealed them. Brady.
Those Brady violations are gonna screw you every time.
I think Judge LG was kind of disgusted because he allowed Charboneau to be released after 30 years in prison on a $20,000 bail.
And again, it probably came down to the money. Like, this is now going to be a how many years old case on letters that were found where someone may have very well been a little shysty when if they just wouldn't have done that, just like with the bullet, keep it in.
Yeah.
You should be able to easily disprove it.
Right.
Or even if it isn't easily disproven, your other evidence should be able to outline. So I'm not saying that, oh, people should just go free. When you start doing this shady stuff, you are casting doubt on the entire investigation. And now look at where we are. How many years later, we're like, let's just let you go. We don't even have the resources, time, money to rehash this case after it's already been rehashed as much. Ridiculous. Failure of law enforcement and judicial. 100%.
Yeah. No, don't be shysty. Charboneau was bailed out in May of that year, 2015. And everybody was excited. I saw the pictures. Like, everybody's so excited for him to get out. By the way, did I mention his poetry?
No. Another award-winning poet of an award that no one's heard of?
Yeah, cowboy poetry. I should have included that. I didn't write
I'm
it.
sure it was, you've got a lot of time in jail. So,
Yeah.
and you have to find ways to express yourself. And so, sure, do it.
And he was so committed to being a cowboy. Like, yeah. There was an incident one time because they always let him change into street clothes when he went into the judge. And then after a bunch of his fuckery, they're like, we're not going to let you change into street clothes anymore. We're going to treat you like every other fucking inmate here. And there was a little kind of scuffle, and he had a bloody nose when he went into one of these hearings. Because he probably, I'm imagining he was trying to fight to change.
He was bucking and bronking.
Yep. And they said, nope, you get the same prison garb that everybody else is getting, dick. Yeah. Enjoy your walks and your flip-flops, fucker. So he's out.
Out and about.
On February 15th, 2016, Charboneau is arrested in Star, Idaho.
Not in Star.
In Star. That afternoon, a woman arrived home and she found Charboneau hiding in her closet.
That's unsettling and very much escalated. Like, what? This is less than a year later.
9 months.
We're in
9.
someone's closet.
He threatened her with a crossbow. What the fuck is up with the crossbows?
A fucking crossbow? Go and learn, get a hobby, bro. Get RC cars. What?
She ran out of the door and called 911. A few minutes later, Charboneau, who's now 56, called Ada County dispatch and said that he had been held hostage by a woman at the home. He told deputies he had escaped and drove to a parking lot where he called police. He was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and burglary.
Good, because that made me want to punch myself in the face hearing, "Someone help me captive with my crossbow in their closet." Please stop.
The woman had briefly dated Charboneau for about 2 months before breaking up with him and had recently filed for a protection order. That's weird. The protection hearing was set for the day Charboneau was arrested. So the day that he's like crossbowing in the house, that was the hearing.
Sharby, you need... Was there not a halfway house or something? Like, we're just gallivanting.
I wonder who put up the bond too, for reals. Days before Charboneau had broken into the house, he had visited the FBI office in Boise to report that his ex-girlfriend was illegally selling liquor without a license and that she had mafia ties. These motherfuckers.
You gotta be fucking delusional and just not fit, like, for... Get out of here. Get out of here.
Later, he also told police she had kidnapped him and driven him to the Owyhees where she let him go.
I feel like we're deflecting at this point, sir. Like, anyway, move on.
When the victim was contacted by the police about Charboneau's kidnapping, she began seeking the protection order. She's like, this fucker's crazy.
He said I kidnapped him?
During the time he was supposedly kidnapped, the woman was out of town. Whoopee. And as far as being held hostage, the police have Charboneau on surveillance footage from a convenience store during the time.
He wasn't used to that. He thought there was no cameras anywhere and you could just be whoever you want to be whenever you want to be them. Good try, bub.
In 2017, the Idaho Supreme Court reversed Judge LG's order and remanded the original case back to district court. Like,
you know what? Takesies backsies.
I feel like LG, like, I don't know. I should have looked him up, but I would quit.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm done. I'm going to retire early. Not
basket weaving or something. I'm going to open up a coffee shop.
Espresso, anyone? In 2018, Charboneau was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the Star incident.
Oh my God.
This time is to be served concurrent with his other life sentence.
They're like, you know what? We're done.
We're done.
You're done.
So currently, Charboneau is 65 and residing at the Idaho State Correctional Institution in Boise.
Have fun, Sharby. You got your walkies, which most prisoners, I feel like if you ask people now, they're like, what if the sheriff came and took you on a walk? They'd be like, yeah,
Let's go.
let's outside, not in the prison yard. Let's go.
Let's grab a McGriddle and a hash brown.
Yeah. Stopping at Mickey, please. Give me
I
a
will
Happy Meal.
take a small coffee, 3 creams, 15 sugars.
Give me that sugar, that real shit. 15 sugars.
Please.
Hey boss, can we go inside and we could just, they have the little thing, you could just grab like 57 for me. I could take it back I could sell that
Can
shit.
I put that in my pocket?
I could sell that shit for, people love that shit.
Oh, wait, I don't have pockets. Can I put it in my undies?
Could I tuck it in my booty cheeks?
Under my ball sack. How do we digress?
We're out of fucking control.
The vodka is vodking for
It
me.
is. And this case, I just got to tell you, once again, I got to tie it back to these extreme weirdo relationships. I know people in my personal life who haven't necessarily escalated this much, but
I
in
hope
some,
not.
I know friends of friends where like they used to get in drunken fights and all the time, and like someone accidentally, maybe purposely in the moment due to alcohol, like hit someone with the car, or the car started running backwards when someone was pulled from a car. Just this messy, messy relationships. And guys, gotta stop doing that. I know that listen, I'm not a perfect person. I certainly, I speak my mind. But one of the things that I value so much in a relationship is not having a constant fighty, fighty drama, because I just simply don't have the energy.
Mhm.
Like, we can fight over things, sure. But if we're fighting every day and getting into escalated pan throwing,
If you're
glasses
emptying
breaking,
your gun into the side of your partner's vehicle, probably should take
let's
a look
move
at.
on and maybe move away.
Yeah, let's probably should take a look at that relationship.
Let's not. So just again, I do just want to even point out there was a strangulation thing earlier, and if your partner ever chokes you, man or woman, it's like a
Bye.
700% chance they're going to kill you the next
Yeah.
time. So just reach out to your resources, start getting a safe exit, and let's not.
And don't let them back into your lives even a fucking
No.
smidge. Don't call, don't text, don't write.
You can
Don't talk
love
to their friend.
from
Like,
afar.
yeah,
You
definite stuff.
can respect and appreciate.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Those relationships. Really, oh, I
Creep back
didn't.
in. I just need a little help, and
No,
then they're living
no.
in your fucking barn again. We're done. No. So anyway, look out for yourselves, look out for your friends, and
I hope
crazy
Goldie
story.
enjoys his fucking Reno vacation.
I hope he got to eventually. I mean, it sounds like he was tied to this case for fucking ever. So sorry about your family vacay that got ruined. Hopefully your marriage is still intact. Closing thoughts, notes. Just give us, if you want to hear something, email us.
Yeah.
thelethalibrary@gmail.com. We're on TikTok. We've been really amping up the TikTok lately, guys.
Yeah.
And we are not TikTokers.
No.
So we're just trying to do some sillies for you,
Some fun stuff.
just for funsies. So
And it
follow
is
us
fun.
there. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeart. You can listen to us there. Subscribe so that you get the new episodes. Other than that, thank you for listening.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, 10-4 rubber ducky.
Fuck yeah.